Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Before we go any further, I would just like to thank everybody for the support of my page. We've just hit 2,000 subscribers, nearly 2,050 like this week. So I'd like to really thank you guys for always calling back and keeping supporting. You say 2,000 is not a big number, but when you put 2,000 people, that fills this garage easy, and probably more outside. So thank you guys very much. Right, so in this video, yes, obviously we are working on BMWs, but I actually have an announcement. So I was approached by a company on Instagram who had come across my YouTube channel, and they said that they wanted to work with me, and I'm kind of mind blown by it because I never expected anything like this. So I'm greatly appreciative of the opportunity. So in this video, this company has basically showed me their website and told me to pick stuff that I would use. They sell BMW, they sell parts for lots of cars, loads of fancy bits and stuff like that. They're really a good website. So they told me to go, like, basically pick stuff that I would use. So I picked a list of things that I would use, like stuff that I prioritise and stuff that I would just like. So they've sent me two things here, which we're going to unbox in a minute. And so on that note as well, I want to say a big thank you and a big welcome on board to bevinsee. That's who sent me these items. They've also gave me a link for you guys to get a discount. So if you use the link that's going to be in the description and use code JYD11, you'll get 11% discount at checkout when you go on bevinsee's website. So let's get straight to unboxing. And again, thank you very much, bevinsee, for this amazing opportunity. Let's go. I'm going to move the camera a bit closer and we're going to unbox these things. Right, let's do it. I'm going to take a seat. Make sure that mic is on too. Right, what box shall we open first? See, let's go for the big one. So yeah, these guys just asked me to put basically a list of stuff down that I would use off their site, and there's actually tons of stuff on that site that I would actually use. I'll definitely use the place again, 100%. So I picked some stuff and they said, right, I'll send you this and this, it comes to the value of this, and it's called, so it's not a sponsored video, it's called a gifted collaboration. So I'm basically going to unbox these parts, tell you what I think of them, fit them to my car, and basically leave a review. But so I picked a few things, and so they've sent me, once I get it, we'll just drop the box. An alloy power steering reservoir for an E36. Mint. Shiny, everybody loves shiny bits. So this is getting fitted to the drift car. The drift car is going to be easy to fit this because I have an M52 from an E39 in there, so therefore mine's is up above the alternator. Whereas if it's for an E36 for your guys, yours is down on the engine mount, on the inlet side engine mount, which it's a shame because this is a nice thing to show off because it's at the top of the engine. So it's probably ideal for an E46 and an E39, but if you actually have a real E36 engine, I don't know if you would go as far as putting this on there. Like, no disrespect to the company, it's an amazing item, but you don't see it if it's an original E36 because it's on the engine mount under the inlet manifold. However, we can pull it off because my engine's E39. So look at that. Mint, all alloy. Also, while we're on this note, you know that the black plastic one that you get on a BMW has a filter in it. So if you say you keep going through steering racks, you keep going through power steering pumps, there is actually a filter inside here, which is now 30 years old, guys. So, right, so let's put this over here. Just check underneath. No stickers, mate, no stickers. I'll put this over here. That's for this car. Now the agreement with this company was obviously this stuff is supposed to be for this car. Okay, but we'll continue on right now before I tell you what's in this box. I know what's in the box, but we're going to open it together. This was another thing that I chose, and this, to me, this is like, if you buy an E36, this is like the first mod I would ever do to an E36. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Chassis mount shifter, guys. It's like my first chassis mount shifter. I've got to build it from scratch myself. Nice. So yeah, that's like, this is like the first mod I would ever do an E36 when I buy an E36. Because like, again, the age of the car, the shifter and that gets a bit sloppy. I mean, it's not undrivable, but it's good to have a nice positive shifter. So again, bevinsee, I know this is supposed to be for my car, okay, but my car already has a chassis mount shifter in it, right? So I'm going to fit it to my friend's car, but remove it again, because sometimes when you fit these, the gear linkage ends up being too short or too long. So if this happens, that means I can show all the other viewers who's watching how you would adjust the gear linkage or make it adjustable so you can get in the right place. But we'll take that one step at a time. So yeah, a chassis mount shifter, and this is only like, I'm sure it's like, I think it's like $75. Doll hairs. Yeah, boy. So it'll be top plate, bottom plate, linkage rod, spacer, no what? And then this in here, is there no a nut to lock that? There should be a nut to lock that. Why am I missing something, man? That's in there. Hold the phone. We'll just assemble this right now so it's ready to go in the car. However, I will go and grab my tub of grease, 2 seconds. Never put anything on dry, always grease your stuff. This is why it seizes up and stuff. Right. So, just slap a wee tiny bit of grease on here. And here. And a wee bit inside that thread. Inside the car's fine because it doesn't see the weather. So slip that on there. Slip the spacer on. I'll just set that down for a moment. Please don't run away. And we'll put a bit of grease on this. Sparky. Should have brought a rag as well. So this is obviously, this adjusts the throw. Like the longer it is, the shorter it is, the quicker it is to change gear. So I think every time I usually use stuff like this, I usually put it right in the middle. The middle's usually fine. Wait, I feel like that should have a washer, but it's not. Okay. Right, before we go in the car, I will nip that with a spanner, okay? Don't worry about that. I'm going to grab a rag. And then we could just screw the top on here. I wouldn't grease this because it's inside the car, that's fine. It's pretty heavy, it's nice, I like it. So like pretty much right now, like this is probably the cheapest chassis mount shifter, except those, you know, these like proper Chinese ones. Like, so I currently have a PMC in this car right now, which is like €130. In my diesel car, it's like a born to drift shifter, which has the big square plate. And I don't know why they make it square, because they put 4 holes in it, and see this hole here that they put at the back, it interferes with the chassis, so I will drill right next door to it. I'll show you what I mean when I'm finished. But I always do it to the shifters. The shifter's alright, but it's like the fact that you need to modify their shifter to make it fit an E36 when that's what it's supposed to fit. But lovely. So I think what we're going to do, we'll go straight to this car and we'll fit this, and then we'll go to this car and we'll fit this, and we'll see how we go with it. But I'll show you guys a close up. She's heavy, it's pretty heavy, but it's a nice bit of kit. Tidy. I think we'll go with that length. That's like half the length of the full rod here for adjustment. I will just nip it up before we go in the car. However, I might not nip it up because it's only going in this car for a test, because if we run into any issues, I'd rather fit it to a factory car, which is a normal shifter, so if we run into any issues, then I can walk you through what to do if you get these issues. And if I don't, then I'll make that in another video. Yeah, that's awesome though. I like that. Tidy. Right, I'm going to stop filming and we're going to move to here. And we're going to quickly, this will be a quick job. A really quick job, this one. So let's go. Okay, so at the drift car. First things first, I'm going to loosen the 2 banjo bolts on the power steering rack to let the fluid drain, so we can then take the bottle away, and obviously it's got a fluid change anyway. So we've got 22mm here. Just loosen that so the fluid covers it. And then a 19. That'll let the fluid run out, so we can then remove this. And we'll get fresh fluid. Right, so I just need to take off my airflow meter and the induction kit. There we go, put that to the side. And undo the clamp, a 10mm. Then undo the jubilees. Sometimes you'll find these hoses actually have clamps on them. I always change them for jubilees because, again, 20 years of the clamp being on, you always get a row at the track for having like power steering fluid sweating. The sweat is just because the clamps are old. I always just change them for jubilees. I'll give that a minute before I go pulling hoses off. I'll get my trim removal tool for pushing this hose off. There's one ready to come off. There's two. I just got to give that another minute though, because I feel like there's still going to be a bit of fluid in there. It's coming out pretty slow. And again, you can see that filter in there, which never gets changed unless you change the plastic bottle. One bottle, and as I said, inside there, that white thing in the bottom is a paper filter. So if you've never changed your power steering bottle, you never change the filter, basically. Put that to the side. Bit of crud in that pipe. Okay, I feel like I need a new pair of gloves because I can't touch this blue bottle with an old pair. Okay, new bottle. Do this carefully. Take this right out so I don't scratch the bottle on the way in. Because that would just be sad. One hose. Two hose. And just to clamp the bottle back. Nice. Nice. That hose all the way on, so I think I might need to get a longer bolt. Unless I could pull that together. I'm kind of glad I took the bolt right out because I definitely would have scratched that bottle going in there. I don't know if I'll get that. Might need a longer bolt. Yeah, I need to find a longer bolt. That's just a bit too short now. The bottle must be slightly, a tiny bit wider than the plastic one. Why you do this, man? 1 minute till I find the right size of bolt. We'll go again. Okay, sorry, I picked up a bolt with the wrong thread. I need to get a box of bolts. So I've got the right bolt in it now. It's maybe 10mm longer than the factory one that come out. That's not going anywhere. Tighten up the tubes. Should have used a tube driver. Definitely should have used a tube driver. Right, so I've got to tighten up my 19 and 22, and then we could put fluid back in it. I'll quickly throw the airbox back on first, and the airflow meter. Nineteen tight. Oh, 22 tight. Okay, let's put some fluid in this. Don't spill it, drop me in. It actually looks like it holds a bit more fluid, this one as well. I'm going to quickly start it and just bleed up the steering, and then check the level. So we'll just be starting up, turning it left and right until the bad noise goes away. Fire in the hole. Seems pretty bled already. Looks nice in there, that. Perfect. So I did actually, before I brought the car round here, I did actually take it outside and give it a wash. I washed the engine bay as well because this car's not been used since February. So as you can imagine, and I need to change that fan because it's toast. If you could do this with your viscous fan, it means it's toast. Change it before it causes overheating issues. Yeah, so this it's sat over there in the garage since February unused. So it was a bit dusty. Nice. Thank you, bevinsee. Looks well in there. So this company also sells like, you can get like a version of this, which is your oil filter lid. You can also get an oil filter lid which has takeoffs for oil cooler. You get fancy oil caps, fancy radiator caps, bleed screws. You need to check out the website, honestly, you get lost on the website. There's actually so much stuff. I did actually hope, so they sell a kit for this engine, right? Which makes all these pulleys alloy. So that's alloy and that's alloy, and you get a new belt. I'm not saying I wanted it, right, but see, 5 years ago, I had a 328 with throttle bodies and supercharger, and I was leading the Scottish Drift Championship, and I revved the car up in the pits, and my plastic pulley blew up. By the time I travelled back to the garage and back and fixed it, I was too late to qualify. So basically, having a plastic pulley cost me a championship. So this is something that I'm going to get all the BMW guys into, is to change these. I mean, I think they're like £50 for alloy power steering, alloy water pump pulley, and a new belt. 50 quid. Like, see if I buy this plastic bit alone, it's like 20 quid. And if it blows up at the track, not everybody carries these at the track with them for you know what I mean? So if you buy this in alloy, you need to go and look at the site, honestly. The stuff that they have for these engines to make them like bulletproof, you know, like not bulletproof, but on the outside, there's like lots of stuff on the site, guys. You need to go and check it out. And always remember, use code JYD11 and always click the link in the description. Right, so that's that one done. And what I did notice with this one, this shifter's a two-man job, and I'm just one man. But I will try it. I might need to phone a friend. Because it's nuts and bolts. How can I be inside the car and outside the car at the same time? I'm not David Copperfield. Right, anyway, moving on. Let's take you to this car and show you a sloppy shifter. This is actually a W reg, so it's year 2000. So it's not actually that old, and it has pretty low miles as well. You have like 100,000 miles. So, I mean, it's not bad, but see that, the rubberiness. Like this is before the shifter moves. That's rubber, right? That's rubber. That's rubbish, right? So that's fifth. That's one. That's reverse. That's only the gate. That's not going into reverse, but. And then that's how much it moves before it goes into a gear. So, bye. Oh, didn't I beat? This is going to be one of the ones that breaks, isn't it? There we go. Take that off. Take this out. Poke the rubber down. And then we'll go underneath the car. Get rid of that horrible junk look. That's how much it wants to move before it wants to actually go into a gear. These chassis mount shifters, it's just like gear. No rubber, just gear. Right, let's go up, take this off, and we'll see if we can devise a plan for it to actually put this in one-man band. I don't know, let's do it. Right, so we are underneath. It's kind of hard to give you guys a really good view on this because the bit in the middle of my ramp is kind of getting in the way of my phone stand. But anyway, we'll be quick here. So the linkage is devised of two pieces, the top part being the brace rod, this is where the rubberization bit comes from. So there's a clip on top of the gearbox, and I just take a flat screwdriver, go in from the front to the back, and put it in the gap, and flick it and twist backwards, and we get the pin out, right? Put that down there, and then there's a clip on each side, the linkage, the gearbox side and the actual chassis side. You just pull these clips off, they're just spring clips, you pull them apart, the springs open up, put them on the floor, but don't lose them because you've got to use these. I'm going to take the linkage off. This is the only part that goes back on. So this is the actual linkage that is going to do the work. This part. And here comes the full shifter and all the dust with it. See, this is where all the rubberization comes off. See, look, nasty, nasty, nasty. Right, so we shall come back down with the car. Oh, let me adjust this camera. Come back down with the car and put the shifter in the inside, and then see how we can get on. First of all, though, right, take your linkage rod and just make sure it fits through here. Okay. She's pretty tight. So I'll get a bit of sandpaper. I'll put the sandpaper on there and I'll just spin it a few times. Just to shave that, just to clean it up. It just needs cleaned up. So let me go grab a bit of sandpaper and I'll show you what we do with this. Two minutes, I'll stop filming until I get some. I have sandpaper. So it's basically put sandpaper on it and just clean that pin up until it's nice and clean, until it can fit through the hole. And remember, always grease the pin before you put it through the hole. I've had one seize up before because the guy didn't put grease on it. I mean, it's a moving part, why would you put it in dry? Nearly, but not quite. Sure need an early scratch, and then just be sure to grease it before we put it on, right? So we'll go in the car and put this bit down, and I'll see if I can devise a plan to actually have my bolts held inside while I tighten underneath. It's a two-man job. Two-man job. Right, I'm just going to drop the car down. Okay, now for the good part. Go set the shifter in. We'll set it in the hole. I have 4 bolts sat in it. Hopefully it doesn't fall over by the time the ramp goes up. So look, got a shifter, got 4 bolts sat in it. Put it down through the hole, make sure it's not catching any wires or anything. Then we'll put the car up in the air. And catch the nuts underneath. Let's see how this goes. Mr. Ain't got no friends. Right, this is a part that's very important. You see the outer circle here, obviously the chassis circle. This is where the linkage can go wrong, right? So you want this circle on the middle of the shifter to be in the middle of the circle. So it's to be in the centre of the centre. So to say that shifter's like central, it has to be roughly there, if you see what I mean. Because if you put it right far forward, look, it's not in the circle properly. You put it right back, it's not in the circle properly. So there's like a kind of balance to where you put this so it's like in a good place. So I'm going to put some nuts on that. I'm going to try anyway. I'll try to put some nuts on that. Get this just to sit somewhere beneath it. See if I can get this magic happen. Hopefully somebody walks in right about now. So we put this on the bottom and then just try and put a couple of nuts on without pushing the bolts up through the chassis. My man, go home, that's your home. There's one. Quite a fidgety job, this one. Bye bye. One down the drain. Right. So what I done there was if I push that hard against the side, it kind of locks the nut and it can only go on because the bolt can't spin. It locks the bolt, sorry. Push it hard against the chassis. It stops the bolt from turning so you can get threads, at least. Okay. Right, where's that? Oh, she's done a runner. Hello. Right, so you've got a couple of threads. Got threads and everything. I'm going to put a bit of grease on the linkage and set the linkage on and we'll get a look at it. See how she's sitting. I'll put this on first. This linkage always goes on this way, with the pins facing away from the slave cylinder. Also, while we note, right, see if you ever get a linkage, if you look right along the linkage, the two pins should be in line. If the pin is not in line, the linkage is twisted. This can cause you fifth gear issues and reverse selection issues. Right, however, this linkage looks like it's going to be fine. I will just put the clips in it. Right, I'll quickly just take the phone off the mountain gear and show you what I've done here. So linkage is on. We only use this part now because we've got rid of the rubbery part, which is this. If you see the linkage, look, if you go, you see, you can see that that's sitting straight up and down. That's perfect, that's neutral. But if you go too far forward with the linkage, if you go too far forward with the actual chassis shifter, you'll see the stick can either lean back looking like it's in fourth or lean forward looking like it's in third. You want that to be like in the centre of that hole, like perfectly centre, for to avoid any issues. But I have seen I've done these a few times, and you could fit a chassis mount shifter and it's almost like the rod wants to be lengthened or shortened by like 20mm, because that's obviously the car's in neutral, right? And the linkage is in neutral too, obviously. So the stick is sitting straight up and down. If it was sitting like it was in third gear, the linkage is too long by 20mm. If it's like it's in fourth, the linkage is too short by 20mm. So I'm going to bring the car down. I'm going to see what I could do. Maybe try and put an Allen key on a bolt or something so I can try and pop back under and tighten these up so I can give you guys a look at this shifter. Right, we are back. I had to phone a friend. I've got a Connor. Say hi, Connor.
Hiya, mate.
Hiya, mate. Right, go for front driver. I don't know if you want to tighten or I'll tighten.
You tighten, because I'm just using spanner to hold it on.
Spanner. Right, we'll go back. Go.
Passenger.
Aye. You kind of have to pull these ones down evenly. Right, go back driver. It's actually feeling no bad. Front passenger.
Oh yeah.
You finished early today, you know. Where are you now?
Ding, ding.
Where did you go?
Back to this one.
Alright, I see it. Communicate, mate.
Just nip the cuts up again.
What?
Just nip them up again, basically.
Right, what one?
None.
Aye.
Front driver? Aye, him.
And then?
Back passenger? Or did we say that one?
We just came for that one.
Aye, that one's fine then.
Back driver. Back driver, back driver. Clansman driver.
Clansman.
Right, front passenger. And that should do it, because it's technically it's coming back off, mate.
Yep.
Right, is there any, let me just check them, see if any of them's actually loose, because that'll do it, because I'm not really got to drive it, mate, and it's coming back off, that's alright. Do the front driver.
Front driver.
Right, that'll do it. Right.
Beautiful.
Bring me down, you can turn your mic off if you want.
Oh, fuck.
Just hold the button.
Oh, yeah. There's the button. Oh, wait, hey. Is that a button? It's not a button. You're a button.
Keep going. I think that's high enough. What is it? Sorry. Perfect. 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 Your chassis mount shifter on your diesel car, sir? Hey man, we'll get...
Is that another one you told me to buy from Altura?
No, this is like a new company.
Alright,
That'll do. Right, I'll get you a quick look through outside for where we were before.
Huh?
So, we're in, fitted, good. And obviously, fuck off. By obviously the last shift that was in it was very rubbery, so now it's like direct. That's you gone straight across to the gate for 1, straight across to the gate for 5. That's third. that's fourth, that's reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like the fact of these shifters, you can, when you go to come out of second gear, you can literally just do that and it's third gear. So you're like, straightforward. Like you don't even have to guide it, because by the time it comes out of 2, it bounces back to the gate to go for 3. So we just change gear like that when you're going to go for third gear. Supplies! What you got? Intake manifold. Another intake manifold. Jesus. Right, well that's that job done. Right, so guys, we are all done. We have one shiny power steering reservoir, courtesy of bevinsee, and one chassis mount shifter, again, courtesy of bevinsee. Be sure to go and check out their website. There's hundreds of stuff on it, honestly. You get lost on there, that's like every man's Christmas. You hate to go and have a look at it, take on her. So that's us at the end of the video, guys, and thanks very much for watching. Again, thanks very much to bevinsee for kitting us out with some stuff, and be sure to check the link in the description for the bevinsee website, and remember, use code JYD11 for your 11% discount at checkout. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I think the next video, since I've just bought myself a new car, I think we're going to start making some videos on this compact across here, which I just bought last week. We actually built it here. I'll see if I can move that. I'll just drop it down. This thing here, M57 compact that we built in here. I actually bought it off my friend because he was stupid to try and sell it. I had to wash the bay, but you get the picture. It's a clean car. This thing is like 284 brake horsepower and 690 newton meters. It's no shy. I actually raced an M2 the other week there, and he struggled to fucking, he couldn't have passed me, put it that way, and he was getting covered in black reek. That's amazing. Class, mate. Right guys, well, again, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Peace. And again, big thanks to bevinsee for hooking us up with some quality gear.